You take a breath without thinking. Your lungs expand. Oxygen flows into your bloodstream. Cells across your body quietly convert it into energy. It feels automatic, permanent, untouchable. But imagine this. Right now, without warning, every molecule of oxygen in Earth's atmosphere vanishes. Not slowly, not gradually, instantly. The air is still there. Nitrogen remains. Carbon dioxide remains. But oxygen is gone. For the first second, nothing feels different. You are mid-breath. Your chest is rising. Then something feels wrong. Your lungs pull in air, but it feels empty. Then, useless. Within seconds, confusion spreads. People gasp instinctively, expecting relief, but relief never comes. There is no oxygen to absorb. Your blood oxygen levels begin dropping immediately. The human brain is extremely sensitive to oxygen deprivation. After about 5 seconds, dizziness begins. Vision narrows slightly. Your heart rate increases, trying desperately to circulate what little oxygen remains in your bloodstream. Around you, others are experiencing the same shock. Conversations stop mid-sentence. Drivers lose focus. Athletes collapse during motion. Pilots in non-pressurized environments feel sudden weakness. At 10 seconds, panic takes over. Your body switches into survival mode. Adrenaline surges. You try to breathe faster, deeper, but every breath is useless. Your muscles begin to weaken because cells cannot produce enough energy without oxygen. Fires across the planet extinguish instantly. Combustion requires oxygen. Every flame, from candles to power plant furnaces, dies in the same second. Engines that rely on combustion begin failing. Airplanes in flight lose engine power. Vehicles stall. Power grids begin destabilizing. At 20 seconds, your vision darkens at the edges. The brain, consuming about 20% of your body's oxygen supply, starts shutting down non-essential functions. Thoughts become fragmented. Coordination collapses. Some people lose consciousness. At 30 seconds, widespread blackouts occur, not just electrical but biological. Humans begin fainting in massive numbers. Animals collapse in fields. Birds fall from the sky. Aquatic life experiences a different but equally terrifying shock. Dissolved oxygen in water disappears as well. Fish suffocate almost instantly. Entire ecosystems enter crisis within half a minute. But remember, this lasts only 60 seconds. At 40 seconds, the world is nearly silent. No engines. No voices. Only wind moving through nitrogen-heavy air. Your body is on the edge. Brain cells begin suffering irreversible damage after about 4 to 6 minutes without oxygen. But severe impairment begins much sooner. At 50 seconds, many humans are unconscious. Some are on the edge of cardiac arrest. Hospitals are powerless to intervene because oxygen tanks are empty. Medical ventilators push useless gas. At 60 seconds, just as irreversible collapse seems inevitable, oxygen returns. Instantly, the atmosphere restores itself. Air becomes breathable again. Those still conscious gasp violently as oxygen floods their lungs. Hearts race. Emergency systems attempt to restart. But the damage from 1 minute without oxygen is not small. And this is only the beginning. As oxygen returns, chaos spreads across the planet. Millions regain consciousness confused and disoriented. Some never wake up. Brain injury begins faster than most people realize. Even short interruptions can cause long-term neurological damage. Emergency services are overwhelmed within minutes. Hospitals fill instantly. Transportation systems are crippled because engines stalled mid-operation. Aircraft that lost combustion engines during the oxygen loss may have already descended catastrophically. Industrial facilities that depend on controlled combustion suffer structural failures. Refineries shut down abruptly. Chemical plants enter emergency mode. But oxygen is not only vital for breathing and fire. It plays a silent role in countless chemical processes. The sudden disappearance and return of oxygen causes stress on materials worldwide. Metals exposed to air undergo rapid oxidation shifts. Some surfaces experience microfractures from the chemical imbalance. The ozone layer, composed of oxygen molecules, temporarily collapses during the absence. When oxygen returns, atmospheric chemistry requires time to stabilize. During that unstable period, ultraviolet radiation penetrates more intensely in certain regions. Ecosystems already stressed from suffocation now face radiation imbalance. Meanwhile, oceans suffer catastrophic consequences. Marine life deprived of dissolved oxygen experiences mass die-offs. Coral reefs bleach rapidly. Microorganisms that regulate carbon cycles collapse. Food chains destabilize from the bottom up. Agriculture faces unexpected secondary damage. Crops deprived of oxygen at the cellular level experience shock. Photosynthesis requires carbon dioxide and sunlight, but plant respiration requires oxygen. Even a brief interruption can weaken plant tissue. Global food supply chains, already shaken by the immediate human crisis, now confront agricultural uncertainty. Power plants attempt restart sequences. Some succeed, others fail. Nuclear facilities, while not dependent on combustion, require stable cooling systems. Backup generators that rely on fuel combustion temporarily failed during the oxygen absence. Though many plants have redundant safety layers, the stress test exposes vulnerabilities. Economically, markets crash within hours. Confidence evaporates. Investors realize something terrifying: Earth's atmosphere is not invincible. Humanity has always assumed the air would be there tomorrow. This event proves that assumption fragile. Governments demand scientific explanations. Physicists struggle because oxygen does not simply vanish under known laws of chemistry. Atmospheric oxygen is continuously replenished by photosynthesis and regulated by biological cycles. Its sudden disappearance suggests forces beyond ordinary planetary behavior. The deeper fear spreads quietly among scientists. If oxygen can vanish once, could it happen again? What mechanism could remove a fifth of Earth's atmosphere instantly and restore it seconds later? Is it a cosmic anomaly? A dimensional fluctuation? A phenomenon not yet understood? For the average person, survival becomes the only concern. But for researchers, the event represents something larger. It reveals how dependent life is on invisible balance. Oxygen makes up about 21% of Earth's atmosphere. Remove it and combustion ends. Remove it and metabolism collapses. Remove it and advanced civilization stops in seconds. 1 minute has already changed the world forever. But the most disturbing realization is still coming. After global recovery efforts begin, humanity faces a new psychological reality. The sky looks the same. The air feels the same. Yet trust in permanence is broken. Every breath now carries memory. The simple act of inhaling feels fragile. Oxygen was once background, invisible, assumed. Now it is recognized as the most critical resource on Earth. Scientists model the long-term consequences of a 60-second atmospheric oxygen loss. While Earth did not lose total atmospheric mass permanently, subtle imbalances linger. Some species pushed to the brink during the minute never recover fully. Ecological scars remain for decades. Fisheries collapse in certain regions. Biodiversity declines. But beyond environmental impact lies philosophical shock. Oxygen on Earth was not always abundant. Billions of years ago, early life forms produced oxygen as waste. The Great Oxygenation Event transformed the atmosphere and allowed complex life to evolve. Oxygen enabled large brains, high-energy metabolism, and eventually human civilization. In a sense, oxygen is the reason you exist. It fuels every neuron firing in your brain right now. It powers every heartbeat. Remove it and evolution itself pauses. The 60 seconds reveal something deeper than biological dependence. They expose cosmic vulnerability. Earth's atmosphere exists because of delicate equilibrium between geology, biology, and solar radiation. It is not guaranteed. It is maintained. And maintenance requires balance. If oxygen vanished for 5 minutes instead of 1, irreversible global extinction would begin. Brain damage would be widespread. Infrastructure would collapse beyond repair. Civilization would not recover easily. That razor-thin margin between survival and extinction, just a few minutes, defines our existence. You are alive because an invisible layer of reactive gas surrounds your planet at the right concentration. Too little oxygen and life suffocates. Too much and fires rage uncontrollably. The current balance is narrow and rare in the universe. Astronomers searching for life on distant exoplanets often look for oxygen signatures in atmospheres. Because oxygen suggests biological processes. But it also suggests instability. Oxygen is highly reactive. It wants to combine with other elements. Its presence in large quantities is a sign of constant renewal. The minute it disappeared reminds humanity that renewal can be interrupted. You step outside after the crisis. The sky is blue again. The wind moves gently. You take a breath. Oxygen fills your lungs. But now you understand something you never noticed before. Life does not continue because it must. It continues because delicate systems remain balanced. If oxygen disappeared for 60 seconds, humanity might survive physically. But mentally it would change forever. Because once you realize that even the air can vanish, the world never feels permanent again. And the real question is not whether oxygen could disappear. The real question is how many invisible systems keep you alive every second, and how fragile they truly are.